How to get over the perpetual fear of being laid off. Some days I feel like a genius, and other days there is an engineer much better than me, much smarter than me, which makes me think there are hundreds and thousands of competent developers out there. I am only a junior with 8 months of experience. If I don't perform at my best day after day, they can literally pull the plug and say you are gone, and I can't even say anything. To an extent, maybe it is irrational. But given what is going on right now, it isn't unjustified either. I have been consistently working without much support and producing features that make it to production, but there is always someone better out there. I've been doing this for 35 years and it never really goes away. It's part of the job since most companies see you as a cost center. Even when you're creating the product the company is selling. Developing a good financial plan, like having an investment portfolio and side gigs, is a good way to reduce stress. Savings. First, should always have 6 months living expenses available as savings. Then continue to save beyond that. Once you have assets, fear of being laid off disappears. Because if and when it happens, your life continues as expected until you find another job. Have a shitload of money saved so you wish you would get laid off as a nice break between jobs. I got laid off despite being the top performer on the team and being liked by my managers. I've also been absolutely not doing shit at my internships and still got a return offer. Sometimes layoff hiring decisions are irrational. I've learned now. Do your job well and have savings. That's the best you can do. And yeah, always be at least a little prepared to interview. Have enough fuck you money and another source of income. Just stop giving a damn about the fear. You can be the most top achiever and you can still get laid off, so why suffer? Just do your job the best way you can and stop obsessing. If they want to fire you, they will do so regardless of your accomplishments. Enjoy your life. Once you get laid off, once you realize job security is a myth even at the most stable companies. Companies will drop you like a hot potato the moment it is beneficial to them. You aren't owed anything other than a paycheck for your hours worked. So, I would say, get laid off once and you'll feel better about it forever. Enjoy your life outside of work. There will always be someone better, smarter, more experienced. No getting around that. You should take that along with the fear of getting laid off at any moment as motivation to drive you to be the best you can be. Remember, nothing is certain when it comes to job security, as even the best people can get laid off. The key is to not work in fear, but channel that, as I said, into motivation to do the best you can and do what you can to make yourself a valuable asset. Our overemployed has gotten over that fear. It's helpful to live below your means. I did contracting when I was in my early 20s. I would make great money, but some months it was slow. I could have rented a nice 2-bedroom apartment and furnished it. But instead I lived like I was making much less. I rented a room from some other people my age. I didn't spend a ton on vacations or going out. My splurge was leasing a nice car. But still, considering my rent was 1/3 of what a 2-bedroom apartment would have been, I saved a ton and felt okay about knowing it was easy to pay the bills. It's not irrational. At this point, I'm convinced that it's literally trauma. Maybe even something similar to PTSD. After working as a vendor contractor for years, where every blindly scheduled meeting was possibly when we would learn that we were now unemployed, I have actual anxiety attacks whenever I get invited to a meeting with my boss. I know I'm not alone. It's honestly quite common in contractor circles around big companies. I think we need some genuine fucking therapy. When you realize that getting laid off is out of your control, you get over it. You can be the best and most productive employee and still face layoffs simply because your boss doesn't like you or the economy is in a terrible state. Whatever the reason may be, you can get laid off. Instead of worrying about something you can't control, focus on what you can control, which is to try your best. That's all we can really do in life. What's helped me a bit, and this may be pretty toxic, is pick a canary on your team that'll likely get fired first. I may or may not be absolute trash and on the chopping block, but not so bad if the other guy is still in. The company I work for just went through 2 rounds of layoffs. I know I am next on the hamster wheel. I think you just have to be prepared and have an exit strat. Other than that, I don't think you get over the worry. Apply for government jobs. The money sucks, but your job is secure. It never goes away. Been at this 15 years. Keep 6 months to a year of take-home pay and high-yield savings and you will sleep easier. The only thing that worked for me. Having savings that will keep you going without a job for at least a year, while you look for the next one. There's a lot of great practical advice here. But mentally try to decent a work career. What outside of work is important to you and the reason you work? Hobbies, family, etc. are common reasons to help deprioritize and remind that even though you have a job for a salary, you are valuable beyond your output at work. It is only by realizing that you're already dead that you can rationalize decisions to free yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy, my friend. Try your best not to do it. Slightly smiling face. My experience is that the less you need the money, the more you make money. For me, the priority number 1 has always been to be in the condition where I'm not exploitable. Not depending on a paycheck, on a landlord, on a job. The key is saving and build assets. Avoid lifestyle inflation and stupid purchases, cars especially. You should be applying to no-name random companies every 3-6 months to ensure you keep your interview skills sharp. If you got one job, you can get another job fairly quickly. I find that eases a lot of the concern. I'm also married with my wife earning more than me, with significant savings and investments. If I was laid off and didn't have work for a while, I have more than enough work to do around the house and in the yard to keep me occupied for years. The WARN tracker. Companies are legally required to make it known if they will be doing layoffs. You should probably not try to get over this fear. Because whoever you are and however experienced you are in perpetual danger of being laid off. And you should plan around it. From the minute you walk onto your current job, you're preparing for your next job. Work on and with newer things that are in demand and make sure you know them well so you can pass a technical interview when the time comes. Don't piss people in office off and you'll be safe. You don't, especially if you are in the US in tech. Work in banking or the public sector or anywhere that is unionized. Focus on your work and deliver quality results. Or learn how, because most employers will not train you. Clock out on time because only your family will remember when you worked late. Layoffs can and will happen. So put some of your income into savings so you don't need to fear them. Never be too proud to take part-time work to enable a job search for a great employer. Know your achievements so you can discuss them at interviews or share them with your bosses. Acknowledge your weaknesses, but don't linger on them.